I've been slacking on my reading, and I think I might have found a way to help me out. Now, before we get into this video, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It definitely goes a long way to help the channel out, and it's definitely greatly appreciated, more than I can express, honestly. So, with that being said, let's get into this video now. Hey, Lucky. Hey, are you going to be disruptive during my video? Are you going to let me record? Do you have suggestions? He's pulling the no comment card. Now, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Day Day from Omni Nation Comics. He recently put out a video just talking about books that he needs to read that he's just been procrastinating on. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was kind of thinking of doing the same type of video. Now, this video is going to be a little bit, a little bit lengthy, but I'm going to try to make it as best as possible for you. But with that being said, my wife and I, we also read books, like pictureless books. And so, anyway, we kind of came up, well, she kind of came up with this idea to make these cards, and you can write on these cards, and then you can put this little thing on. We make them a scratch off, right? So you kind of randomly shuffle the card deck, and you'll scratch it off, and that's what you're gonna read next, to help it out. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but there's times where I'll stand in front of this bookshelf and just look, and I'm like, I want to read this, and I want to read this, and I want to read this, and I get nowhere on choosing what I want to read next. So that will help me out, not only from comics, but as my reading books, my novels as well. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my next book that I'm gonna read. I'm gonna talk briefly and recommend another book. Then we're going to get into the comics, and then I'm going to show you what I want to have done, my goal for the year, sort of in the same vein as Day Day did on his channel. Stuff that I want to get done and read. So let's get into these books real quick first. Now, as far as books, novels, and stuff like pictureless books, I like to read like sci-fi, fantasy, horror stuff. Um, along those lines of books. Now, the card that I was telling you about that my wife, she bought like a huge stack of these, and this is what they look like. You write in this white space right here. You write whatever you want. You can write the title of a book. You can write different prompts. For example, a book that has green on the cover, or like you could write a book by said author, or whatever you want. You could put it right here to just help you choose a book. And this one's double-sided. Now, this one I already scratched because I already chose my book. But this one was an indie book, an indie fantasy book. So I chose this, or I scratched this, and this was the book that I chose, Depths of Vanoth by Brady Hunsaker. And I actually got this book. There's a Kickstarter that hadn't come in yet, but this is a book that I can't wait to read. So I'm really looking forward to this. And man, I've been waiting to read this for a while. But same thing as these comics, I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. I'll look at the shelf and I'm like, man, I want to read this. I can't decide. So these are a lifesaver. So this is the book that I'm going to read next. Right now, I'm currently reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first book, and I'm about 80% done with that. So this is going to be my next book after that, um, which I recommend that Dungeon Crawler Carl if you haven't read that, honestly, because it's hilarious. Now, the book that I want to recommend is also an indie book, and this book is so good, and I believe in the author a lot. Um, I talk to him, I message him fairly frequent, and he's a really cool guy. So anyway, um, Scion by Evan Peck. Now, like I said, you're not gonna find this book in Barnes and Noble that I know of anyway. That I know of, like in Barnes and Noble or Books a Million. This book, you can buy the paperback version on on Amazon. I believe it's still on Amazon. But you can also, what I would really encourage if you are interested in it, indiereads.org is actually a website that Evan is has started and created and has got it going. I mean, it's a place where indie authors and of all different genres, as well as fans of indie books, can kind of just come to one place. You can buy the ebooks, you can buy the physical copies, signed copies, special edition. Like it's really good, man. It's really good. Check out indiereads.org. Pick this up. I highly recommend this, the paperback version. This is it's just like 200 and I forget the page count, 200 and something. So it's not too bad. It's not too thick or anything like that. But this is like a sci-fi. If you're into the whole like AI trying to take over the world type thing, that's sort of along the lines what this is. But anyway, paperback version. I got this. Now, I got this. This is the when this was on Kickstarter. That's how I first heard about this book. This was the Kickstarter book with this cover is the only, as far as I know, through the Kickstarters. That's the only place where you can get this specific cover, and this is actually an important place within the book. But yeah, so I got this. But then recently, like literally today, the day I'm filming this, I got this in the mail, which is kind of like a it's kind of like a special edition, like almost custom made almost. Because when I was talking to Evan, he asked me, and I was like, I want a black background, but give me the blue foil, because that's what it is. It's like a foil, you can tell, and with the black spray paint edges, man, that's sick. Oh yeah, and it's got the ribbon bookmark, which is awesome. And man, it's like a canvas kind of feel to it also, man. It's this thing is nice. This thing is nice, man. So all three versions, look at that, man. That brings joy to my heart. Honestly. So yeah, man, Scion, indiereads.org. Evan, man, I appreciate you so much for how you are doing things when it comes to indie books, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm always going to be a supporter. And yeah, guys, check out that book, man, for real. You won't be disappointed. Now we're going to get into the comics, and we're going to start off with the Marvel comics these are the ones that I really want to bang out before the end of the year, or at least as much as possible. But these omnibuses, I'm feeling a little good about it. So, the first one though is none other than X-Men Fatal Attractions. Now, like I said, I read a good chunk of this when I was younger, but it's been years, man, years. So I really want to get back into it, man. I've been really jonesing for these older X-Men titles, like it's just something about the nostalgic factor. When I grew up, this is what I grew up with, just like anybody in any era. you kind of cling on to what you grew up with when it comes to cartoons, movies, music, whatever the case, right? What you grew up, it just sticks with you. And this is what kind of sticks with me. Now this is not too thick of an omnibus. I don't know the page count right off the top of my head, but it should definitely be doable. So X-Men Fatal Attractions omnibus, and I love the cover too. I actually have that single issue as well. So the next one that I definitely want to read by the end of the year is X Force. Mostly from Rob Liefeld, but that's when, really things started to kick off big time. Again, that early '90s era, and this is also including New Mutants '98. It's kind of where this kicks off, and of course, that's Rob Liefeld. I'm a Rob Liefeld fan. I've said it before. I've got a video with me going all the way out to California, young blood. I'm a Liefeld fan. So, anyway, that being said, I want to read this as well. So X Force, I used to love X Force back in the day, man. Unfortunately, I didn't really that X Force run that just was canceled. I wasn't. I was going into it. I was really looking forward to it. I really, really was. After that first issue, I'm like, man, not for me, man, not for me. So, anyway, maybe that contributed to me really wanting to read this even more. So anyway, we're staying in the X train, right? So this is a big one. This is a big one. But the X Factor, the original X-Men Volume 1, this is a big boy right here. I don't know the page count right off the top of my head for this either, but I want to say this is probably about 1,400 pages. But yeah, some good old school '80s era X-Men or X Factor stuff. But this has got a lot of it's got some Hulk in here, Fantastic Four. I love it. I love how they on the back, just like the other two, well, the X Force, they show the issues that's collected in here, the covers of the issues that's collected in here, which is pretty cool, man. So yeah, yeah, man. I got to get caught up with my X Squad history. And see, now I'm gonna have to throw the X-Men Blue and Gold when that comes out in September. I'm gonna have to throw that into the mix too, because that's really really what's up my wheelhouse with the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont era, like that right there. That is the standard for me, in my opinion. Man, am I gonna have room for anything else to read this year? Jeez. So anyway, my last Marvel book as of right now is none other than Miles Morales, Volume 1, the Bendis era. This is where Miles, it all started for him, this his first run. And this actually collects the Ultimate Fallout, where material from Ultimate Fallout #4, which was his first appearance, and then everything that follows. So this, I do have Volume 2 up on the shelf as well, but you got to read this before you get to that. So yeah, I really really want to get to this as well this year. I'm hoping it's a little bit of a chunker. It's a little hefty, but it's definitely doable though. Definitely doable. So those are the Marvel books that I want to get done by the end of the year. Man, I'm hoping I can. I'm hoping I can. I don't have as many DC stuff that I really want to. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't have as many DC books right here for this that I have to read by the end of the year, because one thing follows another. There's a long order of things in the books that I got. But anyway, one thing I definitely want to read is this big boy right here, Superman the Triangle Era, Volume 1. Like I said, I read a lot of this when I was younger, back in the 90s, when this stuff was coming out. And I haven't read everything, but it's been a while. It's been a while since I read it. So I want to get refreshed on it. And I do definitely want to read everything, man. I love Superman. That's a big boy right here. 1,400 pages? That sucker's huge, man. And I definitely want to get it done before Volume 2 or Triangle Era Volume 2 comes out in September, no, October, I believe. So I want to get this done before then as well. So Triangle Era Volume 1, and that's probably one of my favorite covers of all time, by the way. That's a Jerry Ordway cover. And he is going to be at Heroes Con. He is one that I want to get a signature from. So anyway, that's a different video. So Triangle Era Volume 1, definitely got that on the list to get done. Another book that I really want to get done is The Flash by Joshua Williamson, Volume 1, because Volume 2 for this is also coming out in, I believe, September. Yeah, the end of September, I think. I really am a big fan of Joshua Williamson, so I am really looking forward to reading this and before Volume 2 comes out. And, it's still a decent size. Should be definitely doable. I don't know why the slipcases or the dust jacket's slipping off, but yeah. So I can't wait to read this. So The Flash by Joshua Williamson, Volume 1. And then, of course, as you can see, the blank spot right there, Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, Volume 1, the big boy right here. Again, I don't know the page count. It's a lot. But this all starts off, man, with the Court of Owls. And I've read the Court of Owls. I just hadn't read everything. So this is definitely going to be a must read for sure this year. And like I said, I have to read this. I just bumped my hat. Like, what's going on? But I have to read this in order to read. Yeah, there we go. I'm discombobulated. I have to read this before I can read like any of this. So it's all in order. And then I'm gonna get I pre-ordered the Batman Tom King omnibus as well. So yeah, that's gonna be it's just gonna add to this. So, but it's cool, man. It's Batman. One of my favorite characters. So I have no problem with it. Batman, Scott Snyder, Tynion, and then Tom King. Talk about some good stuff, right? So anyway, Batman Volume 1, Scott Snyder. This is on the list for the TBR for the year. So yeah. So now we got a couple of indie books that I want to definitely get done by the end of the year as well. Now only three, but these are very doable. So let's just get this indie thing started. Now, book 1 right here. Book 2 is coming out later this year. I want to say in October. I can't remember, October, November, something like that. But book 1 of Birthright. I'm a Josh Williamson fan. I have not read this yet, obviously, because I'm talking about it now. But this book, man, this is a beautiful book, man. It's like a faux leather, I guess, kind of texture. And it's just nice, man. It's nicely made. Image did a really, really good job. But this collects issues 1 through 25. Volume 2 that's coming out is 26 through 50. But yeah, man, I've been really wanting to read this for a while. So now that Volume 2 is going to be coming out, now's a good time to really read it, right? So yeah, big fan of Joshua Williamson. And yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. So that's definitely something I want to get done by the end of the year. Now this, I've heard a lot of good things about this from a lot of people actually. But book 1, I have both books one and two, but book one is Once and Future from Kieran Gillen and Dan Mora on the art. How can you go wrong? You can't. So yeah, book one of this, I really, really, really want to read this. I mean, man, just looking through here, looking at the art, man, it's just like, wow, that Dan Mora, man, he's amazing. So yeah, that's another man. That's another nice looking. Look at that. I'm sure you can tell right there, and then and even on the back a little bit. Look at that. Yeah, from Boom Studios. But yeah, Once in Future book one. That's definitely something I want to get done by the end of the year. Now this is book one. I still have yet to get book two, which is already it's been out actually. But book one of Magic from Jed McKay, and this is a Boom Studios book. Again, this is a very good, really cool. Like, look at that cover. Like, it's like raised, like the character, like it's like a raised kind of texture on it, and as well as you know spots where the foil is. It's pretty awesome, and even on the back a little bit too. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that well. Probably not. Yeah, no, you can't. But yeah, very very cool, man. I back in high school and stuff, I used to play Magic the Gathering a little bit. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't really that good at it, but I enjoyed it. And you know, to see this, I was like, man, this is pretty cool, Magic. So I need to get book two, but like any of the other books, right? You got to read book one first before you get the second one, the third one, so on and so forth. But yeah, so book one of Magic from Jed McKay and uh, who's doing the art? Because art is pretty good in here. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but illustrated by Ig Igara Ig Guara, right right there, illustrated by. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that, but the art is amazing. So yeah, that rounds up my indies that I really want to read by the end of the year. Man, that's a lot of pages, man. That's a lot of pages. So I'm hoping I can accomplish every book being read this year. That's obviously the goal. It's going to be a hefty one because I read novels also. I read regular books, and I'm kind of a slow reader when it comes to those. Um, but it's still something that takes up time. So I'm hoping I can be as successful at this as possible. Um, like I said, if I can read all of these by the end of the year, I'll be happy. If I can't, I want to just get as much of it read as possible because I want to really consume these stories. It's not about, for me, it's not about like, all right, I'm setting a deadline. I'm not making work out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to enjoy these. So those cards, I, I've also incorporated comics as well as novels with those cards. So that's going to help me out on saying, hey, this is the next comic you're going to read as well, not just a book. So, man, I'm excited about it. I feel like I found the answer to, solution to my problem. So, which is standing in front of this, just staring at it, looking at, just pulling a book out, looking at it, putting it back, pull another one out, looking at it. Can't make a decision. And I feel like that's helping me out a lot. So, I've incorporated that to the comics as with the comics as well. And yeah, let's get it started, man. So before I get out of here, I just want to remind you once again to check out indiereads.org. Check out Scion. This book is absolutely amazing. I can't stress it enough. Go check it out. Support Evan. He's a great guy. And man, I just want success for him in whatever form he sees success as. So, man, just go out and support the guy. Support other indie authors as well. Check out his website, indiereads.org. Highly recommend it, man. But this book, I can't recommend enough. I mean, I got 3 different copies of it. So yeah, indiereads.org, Scion, check it out. That's my public service announcement. Evan, thanks, man. So that's it, man. That's it. That's my TBR, to be read list for the rest of 2025, and I'm hoping I can do it, man. So that just leads me to ask, because I'm not the first person to make this type of video. I'm actually not the second, because BJ Kicks, BJ from Comics Are Dope, also made a similar video in response, sort of response, to Day Day's video from his channel. So yeah, man. Am I the only one? I'm not the only one, but I know there's got to be more than just me, than just BJ, and then Day Day that have kind of ran into this scenario, situation, whatever you want to call it, right? So yeah, are you in the same boat? Like you have a hard time, or not even having a hard time choosing? It might be a situation where you just don't have the time, or you just kind of like, oh man, that's sitting on the shelf. I kind of forgot about it. I haven't read it for whatever reason, but I want to read it now. Are you guys facing that kind of situation? Let me know, man. Let me know. What books are those, if that is the case for you? Let me know, man. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one.